We're back on the ships this time around, and after a small blip in which I thought I'd screwed up absolutely everything and cost the company loads of money, it turns out I might have been acting a bit prematurely. Hey everyone, it's M4J here, and welcome back to From Steam to Electricity here on Transport Fever 2, and welcome once again to what is probably the busiest shipping lane in the world right now. We have ships bombing up, well I say bombing, gently cruising at a speed of no more than 16 miles per hour up and down the river here, and I'm about to make some changes. So one thing I have done off camera is the fuel ships that leave here, Abingdon, on their way up to, I feel like it's Hale they stop at. No, not Hale, it's, no it is Hale, but it's this Hale. That's why I got confused. So here, there's the little fuel truck here that picks up, drops off in the town. Very nice, very lovely. I think I just saw a ship here that was running full as well, which is nice. Yeah, 70 out of 70. That's excellent, because this line right now, as you can see, is not making much money. That should hopefully change shortly. But one thing I've done is it picks up here now from Abingdon Port, and the first place it stops here is actually at Woodstock, and I've got a new truck that picks up the fuel, brings it into town, and we have in fact got, there you go, some that are on their way. If I check this, looks like almost 16 out of 19 is heading to Woodstock. So Woodstock technically now is fully supplied. It's just a case of getting these numbers up. I liked that. I thought that was good. So hopefully we are going to get trains today. But something else I would like to do today, I think I might have mentioned this before and then not actually done it, but I want to build a dock here at Knutsford, because this Woodstock line actually heads north past Knutsford with construction materials, and it heads south past Knutsford with goods. So if I build a dock around here-ish and get a truck or two trucks that take stuff into town, we could end up completely populating, we'll get two here, we could end up completely populating this town as well, which is going to be excellent for our income stream. Like I said, hopefully we will end up with trains in this episode still. If not, I'm recording the next episode straight after this one, so we'll hopefully be able to do that. I also have something to talk to you about regarding Patreon and YouTube members. And I know what you're thinking, oh god, he's talking about that again. But there is a very good reason, very valid reason, with the current state of, what's it called, cost of living crisis that we're currently in. I think everyone is looking for Patreon and YouTube members and things like that, just to help keep the lights on, basically. So while I'm building this, I might as well start talking about that. I have Patreon, which I've had for a number of years now, and I have YouTube members, which has been up for probably just over a month and a half, I think, by the time you watch this. Both offer good tier rewards, good perks. I'd like to think so anyway. I do have some patrons. At the time of recording, I'm yet to get my first YouTube member, but that's absolutely fine. One thing I wanted to talk about, though, was the fact that to try and entice more people to become members and Patreon supporters, I have come up with an idea, which is not new by any means. Other people do it too, but I think it will be a big help in the grand scheme of things. I'm just looking to see, I think here might be a good place to build this truck stop. It covers all bases. Yeah, that's good. So what I'm looking to do is as follows. If you support me on Patreon or YouTube as a member, both are appreciated, both are equally as valued. It's not like one is favoured over the other. No matter what tier you're on, you will have a vehicle named after your name in this save. So, for example, well actually, speaking of for example, there is a slight issue, but I think I've come up with a solution to it. So I've got Line Manager running more often than not, which adds and removes vehicles based on demand. So there's no point me naming a truck after you, because it might get sold. So I'm going to use it for vehicles that I don't have Line Manager enabled for. So trains and aircraft, which I think are the more prestigious of the four types anyway. Maybe trams in the future, if I don't have trams enabled on here. which I could well do. Just turn trams off for passengers. But the idea is, if you support me on Patreon or YouTube, any tier or whatsoever, you will get a vehicle named in your honor. That's the plan. There are no other tier rewards available for this series at the time of recording, but if you have any ideas for things you'd like to see, I'm all ears, believe me, because I would love to get some more people supporting the channel. It's a little way for people to give back. It's also, like I said, a way for me to keep the lights on, and also it helps me boost productivity, really. I've always said this with my channel: when you've got a full-time job and a YouTube channel, the full-time job tends to rule over the YouTube channel, whereas if YouTube is making almost as much money as a full-time job, then the priorities might shift slightly. Although if my bosses are watching this right now, I am still committed 100% to my job. I'm not going anywhere, but you know how it is, things change over time, all that good stuff. Where was I going with this? So yeah, it's just a nice way to give back to the channel. The amount of content that I produce per month, it's a significant number of videos, and it does get to a point where there's quite a lot of time that goes into it, quite a lot of resources, and also things like software licenses and stuff like that. So I can, you know, use not Patreon, what I'm talking about, use Adobe and use my god, what else do I use? Oh, the bot that I use for when I upload videos and things like that. So it allows me to keep the software licenses, which means I can carry on making videos to the quality that I am. It also means that I can look at boosting my hardware, because right now my PC, very old, I think I've said this before as well, it's 5 years old this year, and it uses old gen hardware to begin with. So it's getting to a point where I need to start thinking about getting a new one, and I've started costing it up already, but it is by no means cheap, and every time I look at it I feel like crying because it is quite expensive. That didn't need an O. And I also think oh no, I did do it. So yeah, just being able to buy extra hardware, maybe improve my microphone as well, all that kind of thing. So if you can support the channel in any way, shape or form, you don't have to even do it monetarily. You know, if you're in a similar position, just supporting the channel, watching content, sharing content. Sharing is probably better than anything else, really, although liking and commenting and things like that helps with the algorithm, so that's always appreciated. But the tiers are there if you want to check them out. I think the cheapest one on YouTube and Patreon is $1.99 a month, so less than the price of a coffee, to be honest, and you help support the channel and continue producing awesome content. At least I think it's awesome. I'm just speeding up time here as well, trying to get this ball rolling. I think the loan has actually been paid off in the background while I've been dithering around before starting to record this episode, so that's good. That means we can take it off. I was hoping that wouldn't happen. It means we could take out a massive loan and buy trains, was what I was about to say. Let's see what happens here. I just need 10 vehicles to run the other line, which I've already forgotten which one I've put vehicles on. Let's just check. So you are on the goods line, so I need one for the construction materials line, which I can afford if I do now. Construction materials. Right. So now I need to plan out this line. So I believe it's at Halt Whistle here where it picks up the goods. So at this point, I'm going to do this. And at Knutsford here, you're going to carry on carrying goods. And then I believe it's Abingdon, sorry. North, was it? Abingdon North, yeah. So the next one after that is Halt Whistle Port, which is right up the top. Yes. So if I, again, stop here and do this, hopefully when I click this now and do suppliers, yay, Knutsford is now being added to the list here. The other good thing about this is we could, in theory, add some passenger docks to this and actually start having passenger steamers operating up and down the river. So especially from Knutsford over to Woodstock would be a good, lucrative one, I imagine, because of the distance. We can have a bus that runs down here. Maybe Abingdon as well. Like I said before, there's not much point of having it come down to Hale and Wisbeach and things like that, because the train's going to be doing that shortly. So, yeah. This should now be up and running. Although, now we've got these extra stops, I've kind of undone some of the good work that I have been doing previously. Somewhere, where is it? Here. I have been adding extra vehicles to this line as well. So this has come down to a frequency of 5 minutes, but the rate is really good. And wait, have these swapped now? This one wasn't profitable before, was it? And this one was. Have they swapped over? Or was it always that way around? Might have always been that way around. I don't know. But yeah, this should start getting better soon. As more vehicles drop off. It's because there's such long distances. But one drop off of a full ship will be enough to pay this back like 2 or 3 times over. So I'm hoping that's what ends up happening. Okay. So that's all done. If I check this now, the loan has not yet been paid off, but now it has. There we go. That'll probably get borrowed again in a second if we drop into the red. And now we can start looking at trains, which is the thing that I wanted to look at. Oh yeah, look, that's borrowed $1 million now to pay off the debt. It's kind of annoying. What's happening here? Oh, you're turning right is part of the problem. Yeah, I feel like having this as a main road is fine, but what I want to do, if I upgrade this one, why is it saying construction not possible? Have I got this wrong? No, I've got this right. It's just saying construction not possible, which is incredibly annoying. Let me just, if in doubt, delete and rebuild. There we go. And if you do it like this, and then unpause, grab you. So yeah, you're now on that road. And then one that goes straight on here. Oh, actually, you're turning that way as well. That's slightly irritating, but never mind. Maybe you're just recalibrating. Nope, maybe you are just doing that now. Why are you doing that? Was it Rugeley? Rugeley 2. Oh, you do actually go to a stop there. So that does kind of make sense. Yeah, I was hoping that it wouldn't do that. That's kind of annoying. But it's fine. We've still got, you know, lane maths as it is down here. I think there is a way of fixing this. And it's to upgrade the main road through the town here as well. Which I'm not going to worry about. It's fine. Alright, this is massively profitable now. But we still need loads more ships on the line. So every now and then, when I can, I'm just going to do this. I think we need at least 20 ships on each line to get it up to the number we need. I want this to be 2 minutes, maybe even 1 minute. So right now it's 6 minutes 49, which is nowhere near good enough. When you look at some of the things that we've got going here, where's a good one? This one here. Yeah, this is constantly full. So we need to make sure that we have ships here all the time loading up with different things. Why can't I select this one? There we go. So actually, you're not unbunched at all. So you're going to Upper Hale and you're going to Abbey. Oh no, maybe you are unbunched. Why have you got oil sand on board? So you don't have any there. You just have that. And then you unload and fill up with just oil. And then you come back and that's where you fill up with oil sand. That's really weird. Maybe just because I've told it that it can fill up doesn't mean that it can actually fill up. That needs to load down to 50 as well. So that's the other problem, is we can only carry 35 at a time when we drop off at Abingdon. But I don't think we need, not Abingdon, sorry, Woodstock. But I actually don't think we need more than that. So that's fine. So yeah, ships are expensive, but trains are also expensive. And that was the point of this plan. And as it stands, our loan is starting to increase again, which is making me a little bit nervous. So before I get too twitchy, I am going to start looking at planning out the trains here. So right now, oh, it's the bus that's got people waiting. So again, I guess 3 buses. Could do with more than that for when the train starts running properly. And then over here, it's fairly busy in both directions. And then here. So I don't think we need massive trains. We just need lots of trains. And each train costs like $1 million. So the more I look at it, the more I'm like, is it too soon still? Can we afford it? Is it worth doing? And I do believe the answer is yes. It's very much worth doing. But at the same time, it's like, it's quite a big investment. And if it does fail, then it fails catastrophically badly. We need to get loads of iron ore here as well. I'm actually starting to wonder if the investment is better off spent on iron ore trains, to be honest. Because this is basically double track all the way down now, apart from this little spell here where it's single track. Bigger trains, maybe? Let's have a look and see if I were to get you. No, what's cheaper? I mean, these are cheap. These are somewhat expensive. Local passenger work. We don't have a description for this one, but the price is extortionately higher. I think we get one of these. Even though... oh, it's massively better than that. Okay. And then for this... do we have a bigger gondola? I don't think we do yet. So I think it is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 5.3 million. So I hate to say this, because I was expecting trains today. But I think this episode is going to be the pursuit for profit still. Because... yeah, right now, in fact, bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to type that name in as the title now before I forget, because that's a good one, if I do say so myself. Pursuing profit. Helps if I can spell profit right. There we go. Because that's a good title. If that doesn't get people watching, I don't know what will. So yeah, maybe passenger trains are still the investment, but even then we've seen how much those locos cost and the passenger carriages aren't much cheaper, which... how people get staggering profit margins on this game sometimes. I would love to pick their brains, honestly. It's quite something. Right now... oh, did you see that? I actually had loads of money then, and then it all went. Let's fast forward a sec. I need like 700,000 to be able to buy 2 ships on this line and try and get this number down to where I need it to be. Let's see if I can actually achieve that. So 1 at a time is not the worst idea. So that's 1. In a second, we should have the money for another one. There we go. So that takes that up to 19. And the rate is still, or sorry, the frequency is still 4 minutes. We've just plunged into the red again. But the loan has been paid off. Now it's been borrowed again, but that's fine. The auto management of that is incredibly useful. I love that mod so much. That's probably my favourite mod, actually, of all the mods that I've got on this save. I think that's up there as one of my favourite ones. So look, it's still 4 minutes. So it's 3 minutes 49 to be precise. It may be getting to a stage now where the loading time of the ship means that adding more ships isn't actually going to improve anything. And the only way to increase things is to increase the capacity of the ship. Yes, that's 3 minutes 39. So I'm actually going to sell that one because I don't think that's going to benefit me at all. Although, no, I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to sell it. What I'm going to do is this, and I'm going to stick you on the Woodstock line instead. There we go. So yeah, already look, we've got 2 ships arriving at a time. Why have you still got oil sand on board? That's what I don't understand. Why are you not dropping off oil sand anymore? You are connected, yeah. Abingdon Port. I haven't turned off any unloading here. That's really weird that it's not actually unloading anything. And I have made sure this is still... Yep, still supplying. How unusual. These are all carrying... Oh yeah, look at that. All carrying the good stuff. This line is starting to make money. Knutsford are going to love me soon with the amount of stuff we've got coming in. This is great. How's this looking? 38.66. So yeah, we're bringing goods down from both sides by the looks of things. You're bringing coal down to Wisbeach. I've actually forgotten how this one works. So you bring coal down to Wisbeach. Ah, so you load up on goods, don't you, on the way back, and then you go up to Holtwhistle. So if I have you before Holtwhistle, also stop here. Hello? Oh, there we go. My game is getting a little bit slow. Although, no, you're bringing plastic. Never mind. Never mind. I thought you were loading up on goods. What loads up on goods down here, then? Is it just the other ship? Is it Woodstock? Oh, Woodstock. And then it loads up here. So how are goods coming from Holtwhistle? They must be on board this one, right? So then how are goods coming from Hale? I guess that's the question. So that's, yeah, that's this one. Is it trucks that are doing it? No. Am I being dense here? Although you're going up to George Street, which is in Knutsford, right? No, which is in Holtwhistle. Is it actually going... No, it can't, because that's... Where's George Street? Here. But you're not unloading onto another truck, are you? So how's... I don't actually know. I need to follow the paper trail on that one and find out what's going on. Yeah, Woodstock is the other one now that needs doing. And I think something else that needs doing, which I'm actually going to do now, I haven't done it for a while, is timetabling. To make sure that these ships are, in fact, far enough apart. So we need to go... I don't actually know what the... Pin you for a second. So you're Hale 2, aren't you? So your frequency is 4 minutes. So if I say don't leave for... Let's do half and say 2 minutes. So unbunch, 2 minutes. Right? And then here, unbunch, 2 minutes. Unbunch, 2 minutes. And just do this for all of them. It means if there are any that are running near each other, they should start separating, which will be very useful. So that was Hale 2, now Knutsford. So I guess for this one we could also just do 2 minutes. Tick you on. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. The other thing we could do is 6 minutes, but then that sort of defeats the point. It means there'll always be one waiting, loading, but I don't think I want that. So that's that one, and then that was making over 1 million, by the way. That one, that's incredible. And then Woodstock, which has a 6 minute time right now. I'm going to bring this one to 2 minutes still, purely because we're going to try and get that time down to 4 minutes in a second. Man, I really want trains. How hard is it to get trains in this game? At the time you're watching this, the Cinders Cup will have started, which is myself and 4 other Transport Fever 2 players, all competing, representing our countries, Great Britain versus Australia. And I can probably predict right now, I'm recording this at the start of June, by the time you watch this at the start of July, I probably would have had at least 6 mental breakdowns over trying to make my company profitable. That's how confident I am in my lack of ability. I could end up surprising everyone, who knows? But I'm there for a good time, not for a long time. Let's put it that way. Right, we'll take that up to 20. That's now dropped to 5 minutes 13. If I add another one to that, 4 minutes 58. If I can get it down to 4 minutes, that's a pretty good achievement, I would say. I have no idea how much these ships actually cost exactly. I'll have to go in the depot and look. So that's 444. I think when it drops below 430, that's when it actually shows as being 4 minutes, which is good, because I never actually knew that you could hover over this and it would give you an accurate number. So that's something new I've learned. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's a heavy debt we've just dropped into there, and it's going to borrow, and try and pay it off. New vehicles is what's doing it right now. If I went on this again, the investment here is what is... Yeah, so the investment is basically what's dropping us below. And if it weren't for that, we would probably be a lot higher right now. So that's down to 420, and now that's dropped to 4, which is good. Where are you? Are you still heading south? Your stuff on board. That's insane. I want to see how much this gets us, though. So right now, this is minus 715,000. You're coming sort of towards Woodstock. It is Woodstock West, isn't it? Yes. But technically, I mean, yeah, you drop off here, and that's great. Wait. Why have you got construction materials on board when you're coming down here? You're supposed to drop those off at Hale and load up with goods. Something's not right here. Something's definitely not right here. I don't think I messed up with Knutsford. Although you're carrying stones to Knutsford Central. Now you're going to Holt Whistle, which is all the way up the top. Alright, Abingdon North, which is where stone gets dropped off, right? Yeah. We seem to have a lot of ship. This might explain why we're not making any money on this right now. You were heading to Knutsford North, Knutsford Central, and you've got construction materials on board, which to me is correct. Yes? That is correct. This place here is massively, massively full right now. That's overloaded. That's fine. I was anticipating that. These are all the new ships I believe I've bought, or some of them. So you're just trying to get back on track right now, I guess. You're heading down to Woodstock, which is over there, which is fine, because that's a good place to start, because you'll be making money from the get-go. Where are you now? Yeah, you're quite a long way away from Knutsford. I think that is just the problem, is we've got stuff carrying the wrong stuff to the wrong stuff. So where are you? You're going to Whiz Beach. You're on that line anyway, which is fine. You are heading to Hale, and you've got construction materials on board, which you're not supposed to have. So if I take you to Knutsford instead, problem is that stuff on board has a tag as to where it's supposed to be going, right? Which tells me that you are going to the wrong place with that stuff on board, which is less than ideal. In fact, that's probably the least ideal thing. You just go to Knutsford again with your stuff on board. Oh man. So yeah, the pursuit of profit here, pursuing the profit, it's kind of backfire slightly, I would say. You've got vehicles on board, right? Yeah. So you do accept goods and construction materials, which you're getting, although only 2 from Abingdon right now. 3. Maybe there was a logistics issue? I don't know. Knutsford, I imagine, is now getting the lion's share. Only 6. Do we not have some waiting? Abingdon. Yeah, you're being processed. That's going down, which is less than ideal as well. 18, 9, 7. There's capacity here. You're coming in with stone on board. So that you should get some money at least. Any second now. There we go, 185,000. You unload. You then load up with the construction materials. And where are you taking it? Maybe adding the new stop has messed things up. It's plausible. So you are approaching Knutsford. I think I'm going to see what happens when this approaches Knutsford, and then we'll wrap the episode up there. That's probably a good place to stop things. But yeah, that's an interesting one. It could well be I added an extra stop and it messed things up because ships were going from one place to another, and then they suddenly jumped up on the order list. That's a very plausible possibility. And because of that, you've now got stuff on board that you shouldn't have on board, but you won't have it on for much longer. You say you're going to okay, you're doing the approach. I was about to say, you say you're going to Knutsford Central, but you're not. You're heading the wrong direction. I want to see what happens when this one arrives as well. Does it actually say where its cargo is going? I don't think it does. That's something that would be nice. Maybe if a mod added that, where you can actually look and see, or if it is already in the game, do let me know. But I'd like to see where my stuff is actually going once it's on the ship. So I can select this ship and go, okay, you've got half of this is going to Knutsford, and the other half's going to Halt Whistle. Carry on. So you've pulled in, and nothing came off, and now you're going to Hale. Which just tells me you've got stuff on board that you're not supposed to have. And I don't even know if it's still got a destination tag, which means that I don't know where it's going to end up. You've got 44 out of 70 on board right now. You're pulling into dock. Please make us money. Yes, you did. Only 90,000 though. That's disappointing. Although you only lost a few there. 3 was it? And now you're off to Halt Whistle. So you are still on the moneymaker. And Halt Whistle is just off in the distance there. So it is plausible that this line is still gonna, or at least this route, this ship, this individual ship is still gonna make us money. Wow, that's 2.7 million. Oh, that's crazy. I think we just had a blip. I think all the ship lines are basically making us money again. I think it was just a small blip, and the loan is paid off again. So maybe trains are gonna happen again. I was gonna say these ships make us way too much money to not allow us to buy trains. I think it was just a case of stuff got messed up because I was actually trying to make more money, and by doing so I ended up costing us more money, which when you say it like that is incredibly backwards, but is technically what happened by the looks of things. The pursuit of making more money cost us a significant amount of money. So you're coming up to Knutsford, you've got stuff on board as well. You're coming into Knutsford with stuff on board. I'm hoping all of these are legitimate money makers now, and we're over the other side of the hill. So that one pulls in, and yes, it dropped off. It made some money. This one's now coming in. That's coming in on a very straight trajectory there. It's coming in hot. And it's got 15 out of 35 for that half. So what, 15 out of 70, which is less than a quarter, which is not great either. But there we go. And as it swings into town and drops off 64,000. But again, you only dropped off half of what you had on board. So the rest is still going to Halt Whistle. So now if I click Knutsford here and do suppliers, yeah, that's gone up again. And if I do the same thing over here with you, that's gone up again. So I think it was just a small, teeny tiny blip because I tried to make more money and screwed myself over in the process. So this ship now is very much approaching dock. And when it does, it's going to drop off the construction materials here. I'm just going to pin that one for a second as well. And then it's going to pick up these lovely goods. And it's going to take some to Knutsford again, which is nice. And then to Hale, and then to Woodstock, which is excellent. That's what I want to see. And we are rolling in the money, which is also very, very nice as well. So I think the pursuing profit mission here has been somewhat successful. Oh, look at that. Get in. Right, I'm happy now. that's making money, and 40 out of 70 on the return trip, that's making money too. I am happy. That's what we like to see. Right, I'm going to wrap this episode up here then. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series so far. Drop some comments down below with ideas for future episodes, and like I said, if you do wish to check out Patreon and YouTube members, I'm going to be naming the first vehicles in the next episode. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. There might be a small delay before your vehicle gets named, but I promise if you're on the list, you will get added at some point in the near future. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you for your continued support. It's very much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and until next time, I will see you soon.